The year is 1095. Pope Urban II summons the nobility of Europe at the Council of Clermont with an appeal that would change the course of history to liberate Jerusalem, the holiest city of Christendom, from Muslim rule. The Pope's call is met with fervor. Thousands of knights, nobles, and even peasants join forces to embark on an unprecedented journey, the First Crusade. After a long and bloody campaign, the Crusaders reached Jerusalem in 1099. The siege of the city was brutal, culminating in a victory that marked the peak of the Crusaders' religious and military fervor. Jerusalem was reclaimed, and a new Christian kingdom was established. But victory brought new challenges. The influx of Christian pilgrims to the Holy Land became constant, yet the roads remained perilous, filled with bandits and threats from enemy forces. It was in this context that, in 1119, a bold idea emerged, one that would forever change the fate of the region and Christendom. A group of 9 knights, led by Hugues de Payens, presented themselves to King Baldwin II of Jerusalem with a simple yet audacious proposal: to form a military order dedicated to protecting Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy City. Baldwin, impressed by the devotion and purpose of these men, granted them the Temple Mount as their headquarters, a site of profound symbolism where the legendary Temple of Solomon once stood. The order began to grow, receiving donations of land, fortifications, and wealth across Europe. With this support, the Templars not only strengthened their military presence in the Holy Land, but also expanded their influence in the European kingdoms. In 1129, at the Council of Troyes, the Templars received the official blessing of the Catholic Church, championed by Bernard of Clairvaux. This recognition legitimized the order, granting them privileges such as tax exemption and autonomy under the direct authority of the Pope. With the support of the Church and European monarchs, the Templars entered a new era. No longer just a small group of devout knights, they became a powerful institution, capable of shaping the destinies of the Holy Land and the West. The Order of the Templars had a well-structured hierarchy divided into several categories. At the base were the stewards, responsible for administration and care of the clothing. Above them were the sergeants, who acted as auxiliaries and squires, performing support roles for the knights. The chaplains, dressed in black, took care of the spiritual needs of the members, having the same rights and duties as the knights. The knights, or brothers, usually from the nobility, performed the most important military roles. The Grand Commander, assistant to the treasurer, was responsible for the protection of travelers and pilgrims, ensuring logistical support for them. The treasurer managed financial and economic matters, while the marshal was in charge of military operations. The seneschal, a position below the Grand Master, would replace him when necessary, with similar status and insignia, particularly during campaigns. Finally, the Grand Master, considered the Prince of Christendom, was the supreme leader of the order, typically residing in Jerusalem. Of all the Templar categories, the knights remain the most renowned to this day. However, joining this elite required more than noble lineage. Candidates had to undergo a series of demanding trials. Aspirants began by performing humble and unpleasant tasks, such as cleaning, caring for animals, or working in gardens and workshops. These duties were meant to test the candidates' humility and dedication, which they carried out alongside servants and auxiliaries. After this initial period, candidates underwent a rigorous purification process that could last weeks or months. One of the most significant moments was seclusion in a dark cell or cave, containing only an altar and a crucifix. Kneeling on the ground, the aspirant spent the night in prayer, asking God for strength to fulfill the vows if accepted. The reception ceremony into the order was a magnificent and solemn ritual designed to leave a profound spiritual impression. At night, in the order's church, the aspirant was led to the chapter hall, where, kneeling before the Grand Master, they were questioned about their life. After responding satisfactorily, they took vows of obedience, chastity, poverty, and fidelity to the order and its mission. Finally, the aspirant received the Templar mantle, the cross, and the sword, being welcomed by the Grand Master and the other members. This ritual not only marked the official entry into the order, but also symbolized the new knight's absolute commitment to the Templar values and mission. The fall of the Templars began in the early 14th century, during the reign of Philip IV of France, also known as Philip the Fair. This king, indebted to the order due to loans taken to finance wars, began to see them as both a threat to his power and a solution to his financial problems. With the support of Pope Clement V, Philip began a campaign to destroy the Templars. On Friday, October 13th, 1307, the infamous crackdown took place. Hundreds of members of the order were arrested across France, including the Grand Master, Jacques de Molay. Charges of heresy, idolatry, blasphemy, and other crimes were brought against them, often extracted under torture. The trials were controversial and marked by coerced testimonies. Although many of the accused confessed to the charges to avoid further suffering, others, including Jacques de Molay, denied the accusations until the end. In 1312, the Templars were formally disbanded under pressure from Philip IV. 2 years later, Jacques de Molay was burned at the stake in Paris, along with other Templar leaders. Legend has it that before his death, he cursed Philip IV and Clement V, both of whom died shortly afterward, fueling the mysteries and theories about the Templars that endure to this day. Even after their dissolution, the Templars continue to have a significant impact on our society. Their organizational structure inspired many subsequent orders, and their financial practices, surprisingly advanced for the time, are considered precursors to the banking system we know today. What truly makes them unforgettable, however, is the mystery surrounding them. Among the many stories told is that of the Priory of Sion, a supposed secret organization that is said to have inherited the secrets and mission of the Templars. Whether truth or myth, the Templars continue to captivate us, inspiring books, films, and theories, keeping their legacy alive as one of the greatest legends in history. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to learn more about fascinating historical moments, check out the video on the rise of the Nazis to power. Leave a like to support the channel and subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming videos.